I'm not the person you define. I will change now. It's your worldview. Light the sun. Shelter innocence from harm. Carpet your picture with the Lord burn. Cast as a fire. Star my soul. Shedding blade. Replacing all of the
Clash in Paris, man. What a night. Energy was off the charts. Crowd was great. We got some great pro wrestling tonight. Minimal interference. The way it should be. And we got a rumor that I'm sure many people are very tired of. Once again, dug up. And that's all anybody's going to be talking about for the next 24 hours. As Seth Rollins yells in CM Punk's face, "I hate your stupid family." Only to then see his wife join his group. Triple H, I'm sure, is telling the fans to fuck off and just enjoy the show somewhere backstage. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk Clash in Paris. Not only one of the best WWE PLEs all year, but the best PLE / pay-per-view of the month of August. Wink, wink. It's Labor Day weekend, man. We're drinking at the Beer Garden and they're ice cold. And when I get there on this Sunday afternoon, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? See you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Clash in Paris 2025 post show for your Sunday, August 31st, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live this Labor Day weekend. Thank you so very much for joining me on this Sunday evening, wherever you may be. What a show tonight, man. WWE brought their best tonight. Normally, WWE does not bring their best for these PLEs, especially these B-level PLEs. They usually are very boring, very straightforward, very minimalistic, boring. Just like their weekly television shows for the last several months. Boring. Tonight was not boring, man. Paris was not going to make this night boring. This was one of the best crowds that WWE has ever had. I don't know how I could compare the Lyon, France crowd from last year. But France has now knocked it out of the park 2 straight years. No doubt in my mind that WWE is going to have a PLE in France at least once a year. Absolutely have to. These crowds are insane. I even said on social media, it would be horrifically bad. It would be a horrifically terrible decision if WWE does not bring a WrestleMania to this part of the globe. Whether it's in the United Kingdom at Wembley Stadium or somewhere in France, I don't know. I said the United Kingdom because everything is just kind of centralized in the same region. WWE should absolutely bring a WrestleMania to the United Kingdom well before they even think about bringing one to Saudi Arabia for these people, for these fans. I think they've deserved it, and they've certainly earned it more than Saudi Arabia. Now, it's going to be up to the United Kingdom if they want to pony up the dough to pay for WrestleMania to come to Wembley Stadium, and I'm not sure they want to pay what WWE is probably going to be putting as far as the price tag for WrestleMania. It's all up to them if they want it. WWE should give them a break. Give them a discount. Discounts in WWE don't go in the same sentence. 30,000 plus at the La Défense Arena in Paris, France tonight for Clash in Paris. This was the best PLE that WWE put on in the month of August. This was better than SummerSlam. I thought SummerSlam was largely a thumbs down show. Not really a thumbs down show, more a thumbs in the middle show. I honestly, if you asked me today what I liked from SummerSlam, I probably couldn't even fucking tell you. That's how forgettable it was outside John Cena and Cody Rhodes, honestly. And then the cash-in from Seth Rollins. Outside that, nothing really major happened over there. Largely a waste of almost 8 hours. I enjoyed this show a lot more than both nights of SummerSlam. This was also the best pay-per-view/PLE because the other place doesn't do pay-per-views, or the PLEs rather. The other place does pay-per-views. They don't do PLEs. This was better than Forbidden Door. This blew the fucking door off of Forbidden Door. Give me a break. I enjoyed this show a lot. I thought this was a very, very good show. Obviously, the talk of the town is going to be what happened in the main event. The main event saw CM Punk, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, and Jey Uso fatal 4-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. WWE got people talking in the opening match with Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. They opened the show, and WWE, again, in the very same way that they always do, wrote Roman Reigns off of television because he is going to go film Street Fighter. And he's got to go all the way to Australia to go do such a film. So Roman Reigns will be off television for the entire month of September until at least Perth, where WWE will venture to Australia for Crown Jewel. They wrote Roman Reigns off on television. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker absolutely decimated Roman Reigns in the same way that we usually see spears and tsunamis. One of these particular tsunamis took place while Roman Reigns was strapped to the backboard before he got lifted onto the gurney, which was a great sight, I gotta admit. That was the one difference between this attack and the several others that we've seen from the Vision. Because of their actions, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were banned from the building, kicked out of the building, and if they tried to re-enter the building, they would be suspended and suspended without pay. That left Seth Rollins all by himself. Where's Paul Heyman, you ask? Paul Heyman was supposedly on his way to a hospital He got choked out by Roman Reigns tonight before he got his Shula Fala back. He gave him the chokehold that Roman Reigns usually does. That front chancery chokehold that he does. So none of the Vision were in the building. Seth Rollins, he went about the main event all by himself. Now, we know how these things play out. Rollins always has a plan B. He always has some sort of plan in action. We all know, based on what we've seen, that Seth Rollins was not going to act alone. Was there going to be a fourth member tonight? I know the rumors have been circulating for the last several months that someone from NXT was going to get called up. The names of Ricky Saints and Ethan Page were thrown out there as call-ups from NXT. Could it have been one of those guys, which I thought would be great? I think that'd be fantastic, especially Ethan Page, who I think is really coming into his own. Then you got someone like Tony D'Angelo, who tweeted tonight, or not tweeted, but he put an Instagram story out there where he photographed himself, selfied himself in front of a mirror at the gym. And the location, conveniently in said Instagram story, was Paris, France. Could Tony D'Angelo be getting called up from NXT? And could he be the fourth member of the Vision? It's kind of a odd one. It's definitely one out of left field. I didn't really think of Tony D'Angelo as somebody as joining Seth Rollins' group, but stranger things have happened. Could it have been Austin Theory? They broke up A-Clown Down Under for what seemingly felt like years of storyline that went nowhere, finally, and they broke them up in a backstage segment. Oh, yeah, Austin Theory's hurt. He's going to be out for a little bit. That's how they ended that storyline after dragging it through the mud over and over and over again. Austin Theory, goodbye. He's off television because he's hurt. Tag team broken up. A-Clown Down Under, gone. Austin Theory could have been the fourth member. Youth could have been something to revitalize his dead career in WWE. Nope. None of these names showed themselves tonight as the fourth member. Now, we don't know if the one that we saw tonight is an actual member, but we know that he has a wife, Rollins. His wife is Becky Lynch. So we know that they're sleeping in the same bed and they live in the same household and they travel together. I don't know if this means she is in the group, but Becky Lynch acted certainly as if she was a part of the Vision tonight. She obviously sees the Vision. Is she a part of the Vision? Becky Lynch coming out and giving CM Punk a low blow. She didn't give anybody else a low blow. It was CM Punk. It wasn't LA Knight. It wasn't Jey Uso. It was CM Punk. Once again, CM Punk has been screwed by Seth Rollins. Now, Seth Rollins has made this admission. As long as he has any breath in his lungs, he's not going to let CM Punk get close to the World Championship. He's lived up to that promise. Earlier in the match, he looked at CM Punk and told him he wants him to go away. I hate you and I hate your stupid family. Once again, uttering that he's never going to get close to a World Championship as long as Rollins is alive and breathing. Becky Lynch gave CM Punk a low blow as Punk had Rollins up in the finish of the match in the GTS. And then Rollins ended up winning the match due to his wife's help. This obviously sparked a lot of rumor already. Me being guilty of putting the tweet out quickly. WWE has single-handedly now drummed up AJ Lee return rumors, and I would not be surprised if AJ Lee is already trending number one on social media. If this is the planned ending for this match, I'm telling you right now, there is legitimately no other direction for this to go but AJ Lee. Zero. Nobody else in this situation, nobody else in this match works. It's not going to be Nikki Bella. I hope we never see Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch in the ring ever again. It's not going to be Nikki Bella. It's not going to be Rhea Ripley. It's not going to be Io Sky. It's not going to be Stephanie Vaquer. It's not going to be Roxanne Perez. CM Punk is not bringing back Cora Jade to WWE. It's not going to be Ash by Elegance. It's not going to be Asuka or Kyrie, Io. It's not going to be any of the women on Monday night. Bayley, Lyra. There is nobody on the active Raw roster that fits into this puzzle and makes sense. WWE could have easily added a male performer as the official fourth member of this match and had it go off with, oh man, this so-and-so joined the group. Tony D'Angelo joined the group. Ricky Saints joined the group. Ethan Page joined the group. That was a slam dunk, easy option if they wanted. Becky Lynch being paired with her husband at the end of a match where she low-blowed Rollins' number one enemy, number one threat on Raw, low-blowing Punk, before Rollins saying to Punk, I hate you and your family. Go away. I want you to go away. If this does not mean AJ Lee is coming back to the WWE, I don't know why they did the ending that they did tonight. WWE would have wasted a debut on Becky Lynch to ultimately have it go nowhere. The one thing that Vince vehemently hated, Vince McMahon, that is, the one thing Vince McMahon vehemently hated is getting the fans' hopes up for a match that he was never going to deliver or was never going to happen for one reason or another. If we could look at Triple H and the way that he's operated in 2025, I think he's taken a lot of that influence from his father-in-law. I don't think Triple H is going to give us a match like this that he cannot deliver, will not deliver, unless the pieces are already in play. WWE unveiled not only their partnership with ESPN on September 20th. This was the last show. Clash in Paris was the last show that's taking place on Peacock for the main roster. No more main roster PLEs on Peacock. Saturday night's main event and NXT PLEs will continue on Peacock. WWE, over the course of the next 3 weeks, will be transitioning from Peacock to ESPN on their new ESPN DTC service. WrestlePalooza, which was a show born out of nowhere, wasn't even on the fucking pay-per-view calendar as of 2 weeks ago, now comfortably sits on Saturday, September 20th, which will debut on ESPN. WWE met their quota on Peacock. They did enough shows where they could bounce from their contract early and move on over to ESPN. Primarily due to the two-night WrestleMania and the two-night SummerSlam and Evolution that we got. They gave Peacock more shows than were required. There's something else happening on September 20th, folks. AEW All Out is happening on September 20th. Live from Toronto at the Scotiabank Arena. A show that will house Edge and Christian teaming up for the first time in over a decade against arguably the best tag team on the planet, FTR, Dax Softwood, and Cash Wheeler. On top of Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, which will probably at this juncture are somewhere coming up with theories on how to kill themselves in such a match. to steal a headline. And whatever else may be happening on that show that I'm pretty sure none of you give a flying fuck about. The point I'm trying to make is WWE has already materialized a pay-per-view out of thin air, out of dust, conveniently put it on Saturday, September 20th, and then housed it behind ESPN. And then called it WrestlePalooza, which is an ECW concept that they used back in the mid-90s. And we all know that Tony Khan is a huge ECW mark. So the play on words definitely are like mini daggers that Triple H and Nick Khan are throwing at the billionaire Tony Khan, the billionaire's son, Tony Khan. On top of that, WWE, this is just me speaking, WrestlePalooza means we're going to get a lot of pro wrestling on September 20th, right? WrestlePalooza. Kind of a play on words to what they usually say, AEW, where the best wrestle. Sure. WWE could give you where the best wrestle if they so chose, but they opt to not do that on most of their shows. They usually save it for the bigger shows. Do you think WWE's done being petty? I know that they're not done being petty. Can you imagine the discussions happening behind the scenes when WrestlePalooza was born and they've chosen a date of September 20th, conveniently on the same day as AEW All Out? One's happening at 7 p.m., the other is happening at 8 p.m. The discussions that have been had between Paul Levesque, Phil Brooks, AJ Lee, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch. It would be one of the biggest ha-has in the history of professional wrestling, especially modern day pro wrestling. If WWE did all that they've done to make WrestlePalooza a thing, only to then sign away still and will forever be AEW's biggest star of all time, and a reason why their programming was even great in the time that he was there. He's also the primary reason why their content really sucks now, being that he's not there. Can you imagine if WWE takes AEW's biggest star, puts him in a dual main event on a show that they're counter-programming AEW, on top of everything they've already done, and the fucking cherries on top of the cake to steal every fucking headline because nobody's going to be talking about fucking All Out, is to bring back AEW's biggest star ever, his wife, to make her return after a decade on the same night that they're going to counter-program AEW. I think that's fucking fantastic, man. I don't know how you guys feel. I think that's fantastic, man. That is shit that you can't even fucking contemplate how petty that really is. Now, I may be getting ahead of myself. We don't really know if this is going to happen or not. We're all excited. We're all speculating, and we're all fornicating over this possibility that AJ Lee is on her way back to WWE to wrestle with her husband against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Can you imagine? Everybody that's seen it play out thought the same exact thing. Do you genuinely think that WWE is done? You give them an opening, and WWE is going to fucking open that motherfucker as wide as they possibly can. They want to absolutely leave AEW All Out on the lips of zero people. The only people that will be watching AEW All Out on September 20th live from the Scotiabank Arena are the people in the arena and the 100,000 or so sickos that have fucking buried themselves underneath their futons and their couch pillows and are moving away the Dorito crumbs and the fucking blow-up dolls that hide underneath the couch to scrounge up enough quarters and nickels and dimes and pennies to pay for the pay-per-view. Those are the only people that are going to be talking about watching AEW All Out. Meanwhile, WWE has taken how many steps to get this show into existence on ESPN, bring Brock Lesnar back, which he will be in the main event with John Cena. Let's not forget that. And now you're talking about the possibility of bringing AJ Lee back to the WWE? Again, and I reiterate, if WWE did not do the ending that they did tonight, we would not be here talking about AJ Lee. She would not be on anybody's lips this evening. The fact that they ended the show with Becky Lynch, the fact that Rollins said what he said to Punk during the match, and the fact that CM Punk actually pulled a sign in the crowd on his way up the ramp during the post-show segment of the show tonight. A sign that said, CM Punk, please bring back AJ Lee. The fact that Punk took that sign and reminisced looking at the sign. These are clear-cut indications that WWE is indeed going in the direction that we all speculate they are going. If AJ Lee is coming back to the WWE, it will not only steal the Brock Lesnar headline, it will not only steal the WrestlePalooza ESPN headline, it will steal every single pro wrestling headline that is available on Saturday, September 20th. AEW stands no chance of grabbing any headline from any publication whatsoever if AJ Lee returns to pro wrestling and wrestles her first match alongside CM Punk. It makes you wonder if Brock Lesnar wasn't even the fucking plan. Makes you wonder how deep the fucking rabbit hole really goes. Was WrestlePalooza something where they just wanted to throw another fucking pile of dirt on the AEW grave? Or was this entire show built around the idea of AJ Lee returning to WWE with the idea of let's kill AEW with the one thing that still is their biggest draw, CM Punk's wife? Oh man, the sickos are going to have a field day with this one. I don't know, man. On the flip side, none of what I said is even going to happen. We all just live through fantasy. And I'm sorry I got your hopes up for no reason. But again, I just don't think that they do the ending that they do if they don't have a plan in place. I don't know where these shows back in the United States will emanate. Is there a show in Chicago? I think SmackDown's in Chicago on Friday. Maybe it happens there. Maybe it happens tomorrow. They're still in Paris. Imagine that fucking crowd that you got tonight seeing AJ Lee return to the company to combat Becky Lynch. Speaking of Becky Lynch, her Intercontinental Championship, what is she doing next? Has anybody asked that question? She beat Nikki Bella tonight. I don't think anybody wants to see Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch for a second time. I think we're over and done with that. Bayley's coming back. We don't know where she's going to factor into that. Lyra's finished. Don't know what happened to Lyra. Everybody else is embroiled in their own thing. Stephanie Vaquer is number one contender for the Women's Championship. Naomi is out. Who else does Becky Lynch have as far as competition on Monday night for the Intercontinental Championship if everybody else is off doing their own thing, injured, pregnant, or just downright finished with Becky Lynch? Could AJ Lee be coming back not only to team with CM Punk. But could she be back as the next challenger for Becky Lynch and the Intercontinental Championship? Again, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is WrestlePalooza is shaping up to be one of the most talked about shows of the last decade in WWE. And I'm glad that they're counter-programming AEW, and I'm glad that AEW has given them so much desire to go out there and give us such a great product. I just wish that normally WWE operated under this type of feeling where AEW wasn't involved. They can put on a great show with or without AEW. The fact that AEW is still in existence the way that they are continues to push WWE to do bigger and better things. They created a whole fucking PLE in 3 weeks because AEW exists in Indianapolis on a new streaming network. Man, that's some fucking God's work right there. I wish they had that same get up and go, take over the world mentality when writing their weekly fucking shows, which have deteriorated into fucking boredom. This is all speculation at this point. But again, I don't think WWE does the ending that they did tonight because they've had opportunities to introduce other male characters into the vision. They opted not to. They opted to have Becky Lynch prominently stand side by side with her husband as we look at another crestfallen image of CM Punk. It's easy to see what they're doing here. Hopefully WWE delivers. The rest of the show was really good, outside of a thing here or a thing there. Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns was a very good opening match, enhanced significantly by the Paris crowd. We'll talk about that. I did not like the ending angle where they wrote Roman Reigns off of television. Some of you might be, oh man, that was a banger. I thought that was great. Sure, it was fine. It did what it needed to do. But I'm going to give you my recollection of why I did not like it. John Cena and Logan Paul. Do you guys remember when I had pitched John Cena and Logan Paul at WrestleMania? Before all the John Cena turning heel bullshit began? You remember that? Do you remember how many people were like, oh man, that's not a WrestleMania match, JD? I don't want that for John Cena's last WrestleMania, JD from NY 602. As if you're wrestling John Cena's WrestleMania match for him, you fucking half-witted geek. I remember those people. Do you know who lobbied? You know who pitched that match? I did. Now you see why. How many of you are going to continue to doubt the ability of Logan Paul? I think he continues to shut a lot of people up, and rightfully so. Now you see why I asked, or requested, or predicted, or vouched for John Cena Logan Paul WrestleMania match in Las Vegas. You know, all those same people, you know, the ones that sound like, JD from NY, he's a negative grifter, JD. 026. You know those people? Yeah, you're not going to hear a single fucking peep from those people after tonight because John Cena and Logan Paul delivered a fucking clinic. Great fucking match. John Cena seemingly went back and played the hits again, man. Don't tell me you didn't see John Cena deliver an End of Days, bro. And a Styles Clash, and a fucking Code Red, and a Tilt-A-Whirl DDT. This man's pulling out all the fucking stops, bro. Imagine if Dwayne didn't show his ego, we could have had this John Cena for the first 8 months of 2025. But I'm glad we're getting John Cena the way we're getting John Cena now. Only thing is, we have, 8 dates to go? 8 more dates to go. And John Cena himself is going to go. Fatal 4-way main event, Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella, and Sheamus and Rusev delivered a fucking banger. Donnybrook in Paris. We'll talk about it all right here on Off the Script. This is your Sunday, August 31st, 2025. Appreciate you guys. We got 3,100 people in here, man. Appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday afternoon. Monday Night Raw is back in Paris tomorrow. Start time of 2 p.m. I will not be watching the show at 2 p.m. I will be watching it during the day, and I will be going live sometime in the evening. Might go live at 9 o'clock. So we'll figure it out tomorrow. I just don't want to watch another afternoon of pro wrestling on Labor Day weekend. I would rather enjoy myself on the last holiday before the summer ends. So keep an eye on my socials for that. We will be live tomorrow no matter what. It's just not going to be after Monday Night Raw goes off the air at 4:30. Follow me on social media for all the latest updates and all my opinions in real time at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Hit that thumbs up. We got 700 likes. 1,000 likes is the goal. Absolutely no questions asked. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. That is the best way to support what I do. So if you guys want to support, super chats. If not, thumbs up. And leave me a comment down below in the comment section. Go check out all the other content on the channel. We had a great month of August. Everything you need is on the homepage. Tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout. Tomorrow we begin, again, a brand new month. Like I said, I'll be live after Monday Night Raw. Brand new week of content as well. Tuesday Night Titans with the one and only Solomonster on Tuesday Night Titans, episode 110 this coming Tuesday, where we will dissect Clash in Paris and everything else that happened during the week. So make sure you guys tune into that. And Jesse and I will be back alive again on Wednesday with AEW Dynamite and the best Dynamite post-show in the entire space on Wednesday nights. Am I tired, Sev? Yes, I am tired, bro. I am very tired. Doesn't matter, man. We're going to give you the best review in the business. Clash in Paris. We start things off with Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman. Bronson Reed gets the introductions first. He comes out with Paul Heyman. He's wearing the Shulafala. He gives the Shulafala to Paul Heyman, and Heyman stands outside with the very prestigious Shulafala. Fans are raining down boos and hatred on Bronson Reed. Roman Reigns comes out. Seen some people on social media asking, "Oh man, it's disrespectful that Roman Reigns is opening the show. He's worth so much more than that, JD." Are you new here? Roman Reigns either closes the show and opens the show. That's it. I don't understand what the problem is. This has been a thing for the last 5 years. Get with the program. Roman Reigns got an absolutely epic, and I mean epic, reaction in Paris. First of all, the stage was set up really nice. It really set itself apart from these other B-level PLEs. There was a big Titantron, and up the Titantron, you've seen this LED. I don't know what type of light it was. It was a lighting fixture of the Eiffel Tower. It looked fantastic. Roman Reigns, I swear to God, man, when he came out with the lighting behind him and the whole stage setup and these new cameras that they got, the whole fucking ambiance, I swear to God, man, it looked like an entrance in a fucking video game. It legitimately looked like a real-life video game playing out right before our very eyes. It was so great. He got a huge reaction. People were fucking chanting everything and anything at this guy. OTC. They were singing Roman Reigns' name. and chant. This was fucking ridiculous. And it's amazing because I said it on social media. When Roman Reigns comes out, this is his 5th match this year. That's it. The man wrestled 5 times in 2025. His schedule is getting shorter and shorter every single year. But by this time, 2 years from now, he'll be retired. Seriously. Next year, he'll probably wrestle fucking half of what he wrestled this year. And you know what? Roman Reigns can make one appearance all fucking year, and he'd still get the biggest reaction in the entire company. This was a reaction only reserved for the upper echelon of not only the WWE today, but upper echelon in the history of the business. The guy comes out, he's a babyface. He didn't do anything to signify to you that he's changed. A couple of things with Jey Uso here. He saves his cousin from a spear, or he befriends his family again. He's cool with Sammy. He teamed with CM Punk reluctantly for War Games. Whatever's happened, he's still through and through the same Roman Reigns that we saw hold the WWE Championship for 4.5 years. He's still that same guy. He's done nothing to change his character. Meanwhile, the fans went from vehemently booing him, throwing up the ones and acknowledging him when he asked, vehemently booing him, to showering him with a godlike fucking reaction. Who else can do that? Roman Reigns gives off that aura of, I'm still the top guy. How many years? And the people that have listened to me for many, many years, you know that I've said this. When Roman Reigns was being groomed as the new face of the company, and Vince so desperately wanted Roman to be over amongst the people, and the people rejected him, I said it's never going to work because the people see right through what you're doing. You're trying to give them a manufactured byproduct of what we had in the last era. Like, this is not the guy we want. Every time John Cena made his presence known, he still was the top guy. Even when Cena wasn't there and he took a reduced schedule the way that he did when they were grooming Roman, I always said, John Cena is still the face of the company. We're getting into a day and age. We're getting into a situation where John Cena will be no more. Roman Reigns is going to be slotted into that John Cena part-time role that John Cena was when he was being groomed as the top guy, was Roman. And Roman, still, to this day, it doesn't matter if Punk's back. It doesn't matter if Rollins is the world's heavyweight champion. It doesn't matter how over Cody is. It doesn't matter how many he eats. They put on a t-shirt and they sell. Roman Reigns is the face of the company. He will be the face of the company until the next man that comes into the company, whoever that may be, if he's there, if he's coming over from AEW, if he's coming over from the Indies, until they find the next Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns will be the face of the company. Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion, and he is not the face of the company, and he doesn't even get those types of reactions. He gets a reaction, but it's not at the level of Roman Reigns. And nobody can say that it is. Roman Reigns is still the face of the company. That's the type of reaction a face of the company gets. And the thing is, he lost the WWE Championship. He hasn't even sniffed the WWE Championship since he lost it to Cody Rhodes last year. And he's still getting the reactions that he's getting. The bell rang at 2:15. WWE loves giving everybody the experience, man. We got an opening video package. We saw the people walk into the building. We got the introductions and the entrances. Ding, 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 2:15. Reigns started early with the advantage. He tried to get the big man up. Tried to hit a Samoan drop. Could not do it. Reigns collapsed under the weights of Bronson Reed. Reed followed up by slamming Roman Reigns on the outside, on the announce table. The announce table was cleared pretty quickly on this evening. Reigns fought him off, though, before Bronson Reed can put him through it. He cleared off the other table. None of the tables were used here. This was clearly done to set up what would come later in the match. Back in the ring, Reed hits a Mark Henry World's Strongest Slam for a 2. Reed took control. He worked Roman Reigns in a chin lock for a little bit. Reigns started fighting back. Reed gets him up, delivers a Samoan drop. Reed then posed with the Shula Fala, and he goes back on attacking Roman Reigns. Reed tried to remove Roman Reigns' shoes at this point. He wanted another trophy for his Shula Fala. Don't know why you would try to steal the man's shoes middle of the match, but that's exactly what he tried to do. So Roman Reigns started kicking him and kicking him and kicking him away. He went with some uppercuts. He tried to clothesline Bronson Reed out of the ring. First time failed. Second time he got him up and over. As soon as he knocks him out of the ring, he goes for a drive-by. Reed blocked a Superman punch, hits a Uranage and a senton for a 2 count. Reed avoided a Superman punch, gets Roman Reigns up. Death Valley Driver. Quick cover, only gets a 2. Reed was about to fly through the ropes with a suicide dive with Roman Reigns outside the ring, but Reigns cut him off with a Superman punch. And then back in the ring, delivers another Superman punch. Goes for recovery, gets a 2 count. Reigns goes for a spear. Bronson Reed caught him with a beautiful-looking standing drop kick. Right to the face. Throws Roman Reigns to the outside. And then he delivers that suicide dive he wanted to earlier. So Reed throws Reigns back into the ring. He goes for a tsunami. Reigns rolled out of the way. Reigns went for a spear. Reed blocked it. And he planted Roman Reigns' face right down, followed with a sit-out powerbomb for a 2. The sit-out powerbomb was very bouncy. Very good. Reed goes up top again, going up for the tsunami after the sit-out powerbomb. Reigns hits a Superman punch. Samoan drop off the middle rope. He sets up for the spear. Crowd in France did the hoo-ah. 30,000 large. Spear, 1, 2, 3. And Roman Reigns beats the Beast, Bronson Reed. After the match, Roman Reigns gets on the announce table and he starts throwing the ones up. He starts acknowledging the fans, how great they were in Paris. Paul Heyman gets into the ring. He's still wearing the Shula Fala. So there's this great camera shot of Roman Reigns attending to Bronson Reed, and in the distance, you see Roman Reigns kind of staring at him from the distance. He gets into the ring, does Roman Reigns. He steps through the ropes, and you can clearly see Paul Heyman's eye shot. He's looking at somebody off in the distance while looking back at Bronson Reed. So I'm assuming this was a producer or a cameraman giving him the cue to turn around when Roman Reigns was getting into the ring. Roman Reigns is there. Paul Heyman stands up. He turns around. He sees Roman Reigns. I love you, my tribal chief. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. He ate a guillotine choke, and he got choked out. The Shula Fala is now once again in the hands of Roman Reigns, and he's got his shoes back. So he goes back to the outside where he was standing on the announce desk. He had one of the timekeeper's people cut the Shula Fala, and he's got both pairs of his Jordans now back. He stands on the table, and all of a sudden, Braun Breaker comes out of nowhere. Remember when they cleared both announce tables off? This is why. Braun Breaker comes from out of nowhere, stands on the French announce desk, spears Roman through the American announce desk, and Roman Reigns is put through the table. Breaker and Reed then drag Paul Heyman to the back. Officials are helping Roman Reigns at this time up to his feet. Reigns did not want any of their help. He pushed Jason Jordan away. He pushed Shane Helms away. He pushed the referee away. He didn't want anybody helping him up because he didn't want to look weak. Breaker, after he helped Bronson Reed up with Paul Heyman, runs down the aisleway at Roman and spears him in the aisleway. They brought him back to the ring. Reed joined Braun Breaker, rather. Bronson Reed joined him in the ring. Braun Breaker dragged Roman Reigns over to the corner, and Bronson Reed hit a tsunami splash. Medics then strapped Roman Reigns onto a stretcher, leaving him helpless. So all of a sudden, they're putting him on a stretcher, and they see Bronson Reed going up to the top rope, and they all get out of the way, man. They're like fish fucking scattering about as they see the big shark coming to. Like, they started strapping Roman Reigns to this backboard, to this gurney, and they all just left. As soon as Bronson Reed started climbing the top rope, they all scattered out of the ring. I don't know what sense that made, but I think in numbers, if you guys all stood in unison while a 350-pound man was coming off the top rope, I think it would have deterred him from doing another tsunami. I don't know why they put that in the segment. It looked fucking ridiculous. So anyway, Bronson Reed, this was a great looking spot because, I mean, I'm sure that looked and sounded fucking rough for Roman Reigns. Tsunami off the top rope by Bronson Reed with Roman Reigns strapped and locked in to a backboard off the top rope. Awesome. Jey Uso runs out. He's in street clothes. He chases the heels away. Braun Breaker laid him out with a spear. Reed wanted to give Jey a tsunami, but officials finally got in there. So Reed ran around the ring and hit Roman Reigns with another one because they were all now taking care of Jey Uso, who got a spear from Braun Breaker. They finally got Reigns onto the stretcher, and Jey accompanied Roman Reigns to the back with the medics, as this was clearly done to write Roman Reigns off of television to have him go film Street Fighter for the month of September. The match was good. Crowd was great. The match was significantly enhanced by the crowd. This was a good match. The crowd took it from a good to great match. The post-match attack on Roman Reigns did exactly what it was written to do. Write Roman Reigns off television. The thing is, folks, some of you might have liked it. Some of you might have enjoyed it. Some of you might have enjoyed the little nuances, the little differences here between something like this and something that we've regularly seen on television. The spear from Braun to Roman through the table. Everybody out there, officials and referees trying to get involved with Bronson Reed. The gurney spot. I get it. The way that I look at it. We've been there, done that. If WWE hasn't done this same sequence, and this is typically how Roman Reigns is written off television, every single time he comes back, he's written off, and ultimately the same way. Roman Reigns has been written off on TV the same way every single time he returns, only to return and then get into a feud with somebody and then have it happen all over again. If WWE hadn't already given us this post-match attack every single time they want to write someone off of television, whether it's Roman Reigns or CM Punk or LA Knight or Jey Uso, the effects of what we've seen happen here with Roman Reigns would have been greater. I don't know how you can sit there and enjoy something that you've gotten over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, we've been seeing this since Bronson Reed delivered 6 of them to Seth Rollins. This very spot is what made Bronson Reed into a star. And WWE seemingly has continued to do the same tsunami spot again and again and again, thinking that if they add a little tweak here and a little tweak there, that people will forget that it's the same fucking thing. Did it write Roman Reigns off television? Yes. Did it do what it was intended to do? Yes. Is it the same shit? Yes. Does it lack creativity? Yes. You can enjoy it, but you could also agree with the vantage point that I'm coming to you with. I wish WWE would get a little bit more creative with how they write people off of television. It's always the announce desk. Or it's always a fucking tsunami. Especially with Rollins in the Vision. It's always the same fucking thing. WWE used to have fun with these segments. Remember Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed and that fucking gargantuan battle that they had on Monday Night Raw? Remember they were in the fucking parking lot? And Bronson Reed jumped off a fucking stone wall and tsunami Bronson Reed through the fucking top of a car? Can we get something like that? Can we get Roman Reigns going to his fucking rental before he goes back to the hotel and the Vision jump him then? Why does everything need to happen the same way? Like, bro, I'm over it. Roman Reigns will be back, and he'll get a match with Braun Breaker, and the same thing will fucking happen. He's got to go away. Let's write him off television. I don't know why we couldn't get something different tonight. But everything worked out in the end anyway. The attack ended up doing what it was intended to do. They sold the angle of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed being kicked out of the building, not to come back. And if they do, they're suspended without pay, which then opened up Rollins to working by himself, which introduced Becky potentially as the newest member of the Vision. If there's one thing you have to know about me, man, I don't like lazy. I want them to continue to push creativity. Seemingly, they didn't do that here. Again, you can like it, but also from the vantage point that I'm coming from, I could also stand as correct as well in the way that I saw this. Jey Uso. He was waiting to help Roman Reigns. And apparently they had a conversation on Raw. Roman Reigns told him that you need to go win the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, what are you helping CM Punk for? What do you worry about these other guys for? Worry about you. Do you. Worry about yourself. So he came out of this a little banged up. And then there was Adam Pearce, who was livid about Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. You know, he basically went to Jey Uso later in the show and said, are you all right? Or are we looking at a situation where I have to find you a replacement? Jey Uso was not being replaced in this match. So he was taping up his ribs, and Adam Pearce was ready to have the match without him. Could have been a triple threat match. Jey Uso said, no, I'm going out there. Me and Roman spoke, and Roman told me I have to go win the world championships. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Street Profits. They defended the tag team championships against the Wyatt Six. This was Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy of the Wyatt Six. So basically, everything we got with Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, it took up almost the first hour of the show that started at 2 o'clock. Bell didn't ring till 2:15. Everything that we got, from the match to the post-match to the beatdown and everything else, it basically took over 45 minutes of the first hour of the show. 3 o'clock, we get this tag team title match. I am not a big fan of the Wyatt Six in the way that they have been presented. I think I've made this abundantly clear when I cover Friday Night SmackDown. Some of you guys don't even give a shit about the Wyatt Six, let alone fucking SmackDown. SmackDown is in a bad place right now. There's nothing on the show that is overly interesting at all. They don't have a major story. Cody Rhodes is out filming Street Fighter. They don't have a top guy on the show. Everything just feels very blah. Friday's show was okay. It was better than the previous week in Dublin. But that doesn't make it a good show. SmackDown is still largely terrible. It's the worst weekly show. They're basically borderline Dynamite. You don't want to be where Dynamite is. The only difference is Dynamite's being held in front of 900 people at the ECW arena. Meanwhile, WWE filled, 15,000 in fucking Lyon. Wyatt Six aren't doing anything to make the show interesting. WWE Creative hasn't really done much with the Wyatt Six. They're basically back to being The same thing that the fucking Wyatts usually are and were. Just there. There was a number one contender match on Friday Night SmackDown between Mello Don't Miz and the Street Profits. The Street Profits won the right by beating Carmelo and The Miz because The Miz was afraid of the Wyatt Six, who showed face in this tag team match on Friday. That was after Bo Dallas started speaking cryptically to both Mello, Miz, and the Street Profits. Now that's a good direction. Bo Dallas without the fucking costume, speaking cryptically to other members of the locker room in the tag team division. Let's get more of that Bo Dallas on my television. That's exactly what they need to do. Have him speak. I preferred Mello Don't Miz in this spot. I thought that was the right way to go, not the Street Profits. But we may be going in a different direction with the Street Profits because now the Wyatts, Bo Dallas is insinuating that Montez may not be Angelo's brother for real, and vice versa. There may be some cracks in the Profits. This match was fine. Again, I wouldn't have went with the Profits. I would have went with Mello Don't Miz, but that's just me. But this was a good match. This was a TV match. I'm just glad that they added a sixth match to the fucking show. This is what we get because Stephanie Vaquer could not be added to the show against whoever they have as a championship contender, which hopefully we'll find out tomorrow. She was supposed to be on this show, not this match. I'm just glad that they added a sixth match. This was good for what it was, but this was definitely a SmackDown TV match. Wyatt's worked over Ford. Dawkins gets a hot tag. He ran wild, hit Gacy with a big senton for a 2 count. The two teams are exchanging moves. Dawkins and Ford hit Gacy with an electric chair blockbuster combo. Loomis broke up the cover. Ford missed a frog splash, which led to a big spot that messed up. Gacy went to use Loomis as a weapon. Montez just fell down before being hit. Gacy dropped Loomis on top of him. They go for a cover, get a 2 count after Dawkins broke up the cover. This was not as graceful as we usually see from the Profits. Dawkins tackled Gacy into the barricade. He got distracted by Eric Rowan, who was on the outside, so Loomis tackled Dawkins over the barricade. Ford wiped out Loomis and Rowan with a crazy dive, the one that he usually does over the corner turnbuckle to the outside. Nikki Cross was hiding under the ring. She grabbed Montez Ford by his leg to prevent him from getting back into the ring. Uncle Howdy then gave Ford a Sister Abigail outside the ring before Gacy and Loomis gave him a combo sit-out powerbomb neckbreaker, which they now call the Plague. That is the name of their finish. 1, 2, 3, and the Wyatt Six retain the tag team championships. Pretty much what you'd get from a Wyatt Six tag team match. This was fine. It was definitely more TV worthy than PLE worthy. I'm just glad that we got a sixth match on this show. Now, I don't know where we're going with the Profits after the cryptic back and forth between Bo Dallas and the Street Profits on Friday, where he insinuated that they might not be as brotherly as they used to be, or some sort of tension is there, and Bo is kind of leading into it. Angelo Dawkins tweeted out after the match was over, a little bit later in the show, "My patience is wearing thin." Now, I don't know what that means. Are we looking at a timeline from this point on moving forward to where WWE has the tag team division in a solid place right now, where they might actually be thinking of turning Montez Ford on Angelo Dawkins and breaking Montez Ford up and making him fly solo? Now, I don't know which is going to be the babyface and which is going to be the heel. I would think that Montez is a babyface and Angelo Dawkins goes heel. I don't know, and I don't want to sound like I don't want to see Montez go solo, because I think everybody with two fucking working eyeballs sees that Montez is a breakout guy and Montez Ford is a solo guy. It is genuinely exciting to see him kind of take on the role of what Shawn Michaels did when he broke away from Marty Jannetty. Not that I'm claiming that Angelo Dawkins is Marty Jannetty. I want to see Montez Ford fucking play his Shawn Michaels. We all know that he can. The thing that I worry about is I do not think Angelo Dawkins, and Angelo Dawkins has gotten a lot better than when we saw the Street Profits in the beginning stages. He's gotten a lot better. He's a lot more charismatic. He's a lot more kind of explosive in the ring. He lost a lot of weight. He looks great, trimmed up. I don't think Angelo Dawkins, even though the Profits are a great fucking tag team and they complement each other so well, I don't think that the breakup is going to be particularly kind to Angelo Dawkins. I don't. And I genuinely worry that Montez is going to go on to find superstardom and Angelo Dawkins is just not going to achieve a fraction of what Montez is going to go on to do. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. I probably got 2,800 people or so watching me feeling the same fucking way. I don't know. No, I don't think he gets released. I don't want to start predicting people are going to lose their jobs or anything. No. It is just always difficult to break up a fucking tag team when you know that they are better together than they are individually. And one's going to get left behind while the other one finds superstardom. But you got to ask yourself at this point in 2025, what else is there for the Profits to do? They've won every fucking set of tag team titles that the company has. They've been on every fucking brand that the company has. They've been in major matches, WrestleManias. They've done it all. What else could they do? What else would you like to see them do? I keep going back to harping on the same thing. End the brand split, or at least merge the divisions into one and give every tag team more competition. Give the entire division more life and more competition. But they are not going to do that because the WWE would have to admit failure. They wanted two sets of titles. We didn't need two sets of titles. And now we're going to have to live with two sets of titles. Because WWE will never revert back to what they used to do because it would admit that they were wrong. One set of titles is all we need. And it's all we ever needed. They only split the titles to give Miz and Truth a fucking WrestleMania moment. While the other set of titles went to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, who they never did anything with. They ended up firing R-Truth. The Miz ended up being a jobber. And A-Town Down Under, they got broken up without even a major angle, portraying it on television. Yet they split the tag team titles. Looking back at that decision to where we are now, what did you do? You can tell just by looking back at who won them and where those teams are now that it was a fucking fail. Again, I don't want to jump the gun. I see people talking. Montez got to go solo. Bo Dallas is speaking cryptically to their brotherhood. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I got to shout my guy out here because if I don't, I'll forget. We got a bomb coming in here, man, and it's from one of our VIPs, man. My guy Cam G with a $100 super chat. He says, I feel bad for Becky having to carry that match, but anyways, much love, JD. Enjoy the holiday. OTS for life. Another round of applause for Cam G. Thank you, brother. Hopefully you have a great Labor Day tomorrow. Enjoy yourself, and please make sure you pop open a cold beverage, whether that's alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Make sure it is ice cold. Thank you, brother. We got Becky Lynch. She went one-on-one with Nikki Bella. She defended the Intercontinental Championship against Nikki Bella. This went 13 minutes. And I seen a lot of people after the match was over really coming down on this in a way that I do not disagree with. I don't think it was as bad or at the level of bad that social media pretended it was. Was it good? No. No, it was not good. Listen, we have seen a lot worse. Like, a lot worse. I don't want you to sit there and tell me that Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch was the worst women's match of the year or anything along those lines. Was it good? No. It was not good. And it's not good because, let's be realistic, folks. Nikki Bella is all look and no substance. Don't kill the messenger. Nikki Bella is outdated. Nikki Bella wasn't good at all, really. She was admirable. She was passable. But she lived in a day and age where she could get by as really good because the other women that they've surrounded her with at that time were not really all that good. When you take Nikki Bella, who is at decent, at best, what, a 4 out of 10, I would say, maybe? 3 out of 10? She can do the fundamentals. When you take Becky and Nikki and put them in a match in 2025, knowing where Nikki Bella came from, it is a recipe for disaster. The promos leading up to this match were better than the actual match. Again, I want to state, it wasn't as egregious as people made it out to be. We've seen a lot worse this year alone. But Nikki Bella does not belong in the current landscape of WWE women's performer. She doesn't. She looks the part, but she doesn't wrestle the part. See, this WWE machine, man, this era, you got women who look the part, and you got women who look and work the part. And to work the part, it is more important than it ever has been in WWE. You need to look the part, but you need to work the part. Nikki Bella looks the part, but she doesn't come close to working the part. And you can't get that across by working with the best in the division with Becky Lynch. Can't do it. You're just going to make Becky Lynch look bad. Becky Lynch needed to really turn up the fucking burners tonight. That water was not boiling at medium heat, bro. She needed to turn that shit all the way up. And it still wasn't enough. Becky had to slow down and wrestle a match for Nikki to look passable, and it made both of them look bad. Again, you cannot take a butterfly era Nikki Bella and put her in the women's division in 2025. It is not going to be good. This is a different breed. This is a different beast. This is a different animal, man. These women, which makes it funny how EO had to go up to Nikki Bella several weeks back and say, oh, thank you. I took inspiration from you. Thank you for paving the way for our women's division. Bro, none of these women looked at Nikki Bella for influence whatsoever on producing what they do in the ring. Nobody. Laughable. This is hopefully the last time we'll see Nikki Bella in this type of match. Nikki Bella is going to be best used forward as a nostalgic act that shows up sporadically on TV. I do not want to see her in any major storylines. I do not want to see her mingled with Asuka or Io or Kyrie or Rhea Ripley or Stephanie Vicaire or anybody of that upper echelon in WWE this year. It can't happen. This was something that was best served for Monday Night Raw. This was sloppy. Nikki Bella's offense and timing were completely off. And Becky Lynch looked bad because she had to wrestle Nikki Bella's match instead of wrestling Becky Lynch's match. Not good. Becky Lynch had control for a little bit. Bella came back, struck Becky with some forearms, clothesline, bounced Becky's head repeatedly off both announce tables, which looked awful. This looked awful. When Becky does this, man, Becky seemingly goes into, like, silly mode. She bounces the head off the commentary table. She's like, she don't even make it look real. Like, the distance between her head and the table with her hands slapping the table, giving the sound effects that she's really bouncing her head off the table, it looks fucking awful. At least make it look real, bro. At least make it look real. Otherwise, don't do it. She did it not on one table, but on two tables. So we get back into the ring. Bella went for a springboard kick or whatever, some type of disaster kick. I don't know what had happened here, man. Becky was like stumbling around. She was way too far from where Nikki Bella was standing on the top turnbuckle, or the second turnbuckle, rather. She turned around and delivered some sort of move, and she just crash landed and missed and botched the entire spot. Meanwhile, Becky Lynch is dancing about, and she's stumbling around, and she picks up Nikki Bella. She goes for a cover. She gets a pin, 2 count. Like, this whole spot looked fucking awful. If you guys know what I'm talking about and watch the show, Becky was stumbling. Nikki Bella jumps off the second turnbuckle. The one thing that really jumped out at me was, like, why did Nikki Bella not time it? She didn't even look back to see where Becky Lynch was to see if she was even close enough to hit the fucking move. She just jumped off the second turnbuckle with no rhyme or reason and missed and hit nobody. The fuck am I watching? So Becky Lynch realized there was a botch. She went for a cover, and she got a 2 count. Becky Lynch hits a superplex. As soon as Bella kicked out, Lynch applied an armbar. Bella slipped out, applied the fearless lock. Talk about cringe, huh? It's an STF. Becky Lynch slipped out. Bella followed with an electric chair drop. Nikki went for the fearless lock again, but Becky Lynch got a rope break and broke the submission. They fought to the outside. They stood atop the steel steps. Becky Lynch wanted to try a manhandle slam off the steps. Bella bashed Becky Lynch's head repeatedly against the ring post, which looked decent. This looked a lot better than the table spot on the outside before. Bella then followed with some sort of X Factor on the steps as she drove Becky Lynch face first into the steel. Bella then hits a manhandle slam in the ring for 2. So Nikki then applies a disarmor. Becky Lynch fought out of it. Becky Lynch shoved Nikki Bella neck first into the middle rope and followed up with that cool-looking backslide she did. Wasn't as cool as what she did at Evolution with Lyra and Bayley, but she got a similar-looking backslide for a very, very quick 1, 2, 3. Becky Lynch is winning with that backslide lately. It's not her finish, but as long as she's got that in her back pocket and she doesn't overuse it and breaks it out when her opponents least expect it, I think that could be a great finish. Barrett even dubbed it the Becky Lynch pin, the Lynch pin. I like it. It's a great-looking move. This was not good. This was not good. So Becky Lynch needs top-tier opponents. Not everybody could be a Bayley and a Lyra. I don't know where we go. It's crazy because Nikki has largely been innocent on television. And one match, she just exposes herself as, we don't really need her here. Like, Nikki's back for Nikki. Nikki's not going to enhance the division in any way. WWE's not going to use Nikki to sell any extra tickets or anything along those lines. She's just there because she wants to be there. She wants to come back and wrestle because of the injury that she had, and she wants to prove doubters wrong. And she wants to do what she wants to do and enter a career on her own terms, which is fine and respectable. You can do whatever you want. But I don't need to see matches like this take place on a PLE. I don't. There's a certain quality, a certain match that you should be having on PLEs. This is not it. Now, I don't know what they do with Stephanie. I don't. Apparently, she's the number one contender. We don't know who Adam Pearce is going to get to wrestle Stephanie for the vacant women's championship. I wish that they just go with Io. It's probably the most simplest of ways to go about it and the most logical choice in all that they probably going to come up with. Give Io the championship. Stephanie hasn't even wrestled in the entire month of August, and people are lobbying for her to win the women's championship. I don't really understand that. Like, why do you want to give the women's championship to somebody that hasn't wrestled a fucking match all month on television? Doesn't make any sense. She's not even over with the audience. Like, the audience doesn't know her. The audience doesn't know who she is. All they know of her is, and Booker T. That's all they know. That's all they know. La Primera. Whoever Stephanie wrestles, whether it's tomorrow or WrestlePalooza, the other woman is going to win. Stephanie needs to be on TV. She needs to be integrated into the show. Have her win the Royal Rumble. And WrestleMania is the place to do it if you want to talk about Rhea and Stephanie happening at a show. WrestleMania is the destination. And Stephanie can be crowned the new champion. Seriously. Maybe Stephanie goes after the Intercontinental Championship. How about we do Stephanie and Becky? Now, this all obviously hangs in the balance with AJ Lee rumors now probably circulating on social media. But what if Stephanie, instead of going after the Women's World Championship, when she inevitably loses, maybe she goes after Becky Lynch. Maybe she gets a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. She did hold the Women's North American Championship, and then she won the Women's NXT Championship. She held their version of the Intercontinental title and won the World Championship and held them at the same time. Why can't we go and do something similar to that? Becky doesn't really have any other opponents. And I don't think people will mind at all if Stephanie and Becky is your next program for the Intercontinental title. Meanwhile, Io can win the championship, take it into the program with Rhea. Rhea can win it from Io, get her win over Io, and Rhea can walk in, whether she walks in or walks out, one or the other, with the women's championship in Perth. Have her get away with this, or do away with this Asuka Kabuki Warriors Kairi Sane thing. They help each other take out the Kabuki Warriors, and then we get the one-on-one match in Perth, and Rhea Ripley wins the championship in Perth. Seemingly sounds logical and sounds safe enough to do. Meanwhile, Rhea holds the championship for the rest of the year. Stephanie's built up. She wins the Rumble, WrestleMania, Rhea Stephanie. Stephanie is the new queen. I kind of like that direction. Good old-fashioned Donnybrook. Sheamus versus Rusev. This went 20 minutes. I know you guys love Sheamus. I love Sheamus as well, man. Sheamus is one of the most consistent performers in the entire sport. Any company, any promotion around the world, Sheamus is the most consistent performer in the business, especially at his age. He's no spring chicken, let me tell you. When Sheamus eventually calls it quits, he is going to be one of those guys that we sorely miss on television. He comes from a day and age that, you know, you don't really see a lot of people still wrestling the type of matches Sheamus is having almost 18 years later, bro. He is of an era. He is of a certain, he's cut from a certain cloth that you don't usually see in today's day and age. And when he's gone, man, it is going to be a absence that is going to be noticeable. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. I know, me personally, I will miss Sheamus when he's not wrestling no more. The matches that we've got between these two, Rusev and Sheamus, they've been good. The only thing missing was that crowd participation. We got everything that we got as far as in-ring, plus we got the crowd reaction tonight, which made this by far and away their best match to date. This was great. And this was a much-needed match. You know, I didn't really expect Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch to fucking stink up the joint the way that they did. I was hoping for a solid match, and I was hoping for Nikki to break out and show us that she's really been fucking doing her thing. She did not. So the fact that this match came after 2 TV matches, theoretically, the tag team match with the Wyatts and the Street Profits and Becky and Nikki, the fact that this match happened after those 2 matches, man, it got the pay-per-view, the PLE, back right on track, bro. This was exactly what the show needed following those 2 matches. So the match order worked in WWE's favor tonight because these guys, they went out there and had a fucking banger. This was great. Rusev has not had much of anything to do since he's come back to the WWE, coming over from AEW. He's also never had a feud with somebody like Sheamus over in AEW. So he's automatically better than he was then. We got a little bit of WWE Rusev mixed with a little bit of AEW Redeemer. He's a lot better than he is now than he was then. I wish we get a new fucking theme music because his theme music is horrific. Rusev hasn't done much of anything, and the only thing that he's done so far is have a great series of matches with Sheamus. I hope for Rusev's sake that he showed the company what he can do, that if you want another one of them brute guys on the roster, that you got me and Sheamus now. Rusev is good. He is perfect for that mid-card. So hopefully this win tonight, because he did beat Sheamus, this win tonight propels him to that next level. And it opened up some eyes in WWE with the suits and ties to give Rusev even more. Like, we can't... See, Rusev has played this one-dimensional character. He hasn't cut a promo in the middle of the ring. He hasn't really said anything live to the fans in the ring, under the spotlight. It's always been a backstage vignette. It's always been backstage. It's always been pre-recorded. It's always been stoically spoken. I need to see him in something outside of the norm. WWE has this tendency to just produce people in a way that's not really people-friendly. Like, he's got to be on the show, and he's got to be mingled a little bit more into the show than he has been for people to really start growing on him. I don't understand why WWE has put very little into Rusev and expect maximum return. Although, maybe they don't give a fuck. I don't know. Hopefully this match and this night is a turning point for Rusev in WWE. I've been saying exactly what I wanted to see happen. We didn't get anything like that tonight. Hopefully that's still in the cards. Hopefully it's a thought on somebody's mind, and we see it play out on television. Because we all know that they could certainly use it. Rusev hit Sheamus with 10 beats of the Bodhrán. Sheamus fought back with a kendo stick. This was a Donnybrook match, so no rules, but the pinfall needed to be in the middle of the ring. Sheamus tried to use a steel chair. Rusev hit a spinning heel kick. We got some Rusev Day chants from the Paris crowd. And Rusev covered his ears to block out Rusev Day. I guess he doesn't want to relive Rusev Day. Vince McMahon might have traumatized him over Rusev Day. Rusev tried to use a chair. Sheamus nailed a knee strike right to his face for a 2. Sheamus hit 10 beats of the Bodhrán plus some while holding Rusev against the bar top. There was this whiskey bar on the outside. Something reminiscent that you'd find in your grandpa's basement. It's old wood top whiskey bar. It's not as sturdy as grandpa's whiskey bar, but it would work out fine here in this setting. So he leaned Rusev over the bar top here, and he gave him 10 beats of the bodhrán. Rusev then tried to escape into the crowd further away, and Sheamus followed him and did 10 beats of the bodhrán again over the barricade, but this time with the shillelagh in hand. They get back into the ring. Sheamus immediately goes for a Celtic cross, his version of the Razor's Edge, for a 2 count. Rusev left the ring to avoid a bro kick. Sheamus tried to dive off the top. Rusev nailed him with a kendo stick midair. Rusev gave Sheamus a uranage off the steel steps, but it was through Grandpa's old wooden whiskey bar. So it got turned on its back, and Sheamus was put through the front end of it. Now, it made a great sound, but I don't know what this whiskey bar was made of. Grandpa would be upset. I'll tell you that right now. This sounded and looked like it was bought from IKEA. And let me tell you something, chat. Grandpa's not shopping at IKEA, okay? Sheamus went through the front end of the whiskey bar. Great looking spot. It sounded great. And it did not look fun for Sheamus because it looked like he hit his head on the fucking siding of said whiskey bar. Back in the ring, Rusev applied the accolade in the ring. Sheamus fought to his feet, slammed Rusev onto some steel chairs. Now they're back outside again. And this time they have whiskey barrels stacked up at ringside. They are wrapped so that they stand stationary. There are whiskey bars topped on top of whiskey barrels, topped on top of whiskey barrels and wrapped tightly. So they're on top of these whiskey barrels. There was a great shot of Rusev applying the accolade to Sheamus on top of these whiskey barrels. Sheamus fought out again. He stands up with Rusev in position. There are 2 Slim Jim tables set up side by side down below. Sheamus jumps off of the whiskey barrels and delivers a white noise to Rusev through the tables down below. Chants of holy shit, holy shit. Rusev, believe it or not, got to his feet first, entered the ring. He tried to grab the shillelagh before he could use it against Sheamus. Sheamus hit a bro kick, and that was a great spot, man. The crowd started really amping it up after the whiskey barrel table spot. They started chanting, and the 2 count that was almost a 3 here from the bro kick really popped them. It got everybody into it, man. Great stuff here. Crowd began singing. Both guys exchange shots. Rusev hits a thrust kick. Smashed the shillelagh across Sheamus' back. He goes for a cover. Near fall, 2 count. The shillelagh snapped in half. So Rusev grabbed it. He used it to apply the accolade on Sheamus again. Rusev bent all the way back. This was like a super accolade. With the shillelagh under Sheamus's lips or in his mouth, he had him tap out, which stunned Paris. Rusev taps out Sheamus in the accolade with the assist from the shillelagh in the mouth. And that was only the 2nd time to his knowledge in Sheamus's career that he has ever tapped out. He must have had that statistic all ready to go, bro. 2nd time in almost 18 years. It's quite the stat. I thought this was great. This was entertaining. The best match that these two have had. Sheamus is one of the most consistent performers in the entire sport. Rusev has finally gotten that one match to really give him that fucking Bulgarian brute moniker again. Hopefully they have a plan for him. I don't know where we go from here. This is the 3rd and what should be the final match. I hope tomorrow on Raw we see some sort of backstage vignette, some sort of backstage altercation, confrontation with these two, where they confront each other and they have now earned each other's respect. You know, Rusev Day back in the day was one of the most over things in the entire company until Vince McMahon killed it because it wasn't in his cards. It wasn't something that it was planned to happen. I would love to see Rusev and Sheamus. I'd love to see Sheamus go after the Intercontinental Championship, but being that this is another long-term deal that he just signed not too long ago, I think Sheamus in the IC title can wait a little bit, as long as he stays healthy. The tag team division needs some serious help. It needs a shot in the arm. I genuinely think that if you want to play up the fact that they've earned each other's respect, especially after the way Rusev won the match tonight by doing something that only one other person has done, and I don't have that name in front of me right now. He tapped Sheamus out. If that alone doesn't get Sheamus's respect, I don't know what we're doing here. You don't have that ending happen and then Michael Cole conveniently throw out that statistic 2 times in 18 years and then not have it play into a greater story that plays out. These two need to be a team. Sheamus and Rusev, Rusev and Sheamus. Give them a run with the tag team championships. Sheamus is over and is consistent. He is as consistent as anybody. You want Rusev to get and feel that. You want him to feed off of that. I don't trust the company to have Rusev come out to that terrible fucking theme and have him pushed on his own. Everybody that works with Sheamus gets over for it. I don't trust that WWE is going to move Rusev on to some other fucking program and he's going to remain hot and keep that momentum. What happens? Does AJ Styles win the IC championship from Dominic and he feuds with Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship? That could work. But I'd like to see them as a team more than Rusev go solo, one-on-one. I think that works out for everybody. It doesn't have to be a permanent thing. But the tag team division needs them, and I think that they would both work incredibly well together for the greater good. And I genuinely think it would help Rusev more than it would Sheamus. Sheamus is going to be over no matter what. I genuinely feel that's the best direction for both. The Bar 2.0, yes. Cesaro, by the way, got a mention on commentary from Michael Cole tonight in the Logan Paul and John Cena match. So did Dolph Ziggler. I don't know why, but he said those two names on commentary tonight. John Cena. He went one-on-one with Logan Paul, and this match was one of the highly built-up matches of the entire night. This has gotten a lot of television time over the last 3 or 4 weeks. They've done a very good job of selling this one. I think John Cena has reverted back to his great old days with some of the promos he's cut on Logan Paul. Logan Paul has not been buried. Don't listen to social media. John Cena has clearly had the edge promo-wise over Logan Paul, but he's put over Logan Paul just as much as he said some nasty things about Logan Paul. He's going to be a WWE champion in the future. He's going to main event WrestleMania. We're stuck with him. He's a great athlete. He's a great pro wrestler. Called him a parasite. Basically said he's made more headlines outside of WWE for bad things than he has inside WWE, and he only uses WWE because it covers his ass and pays for his legal bills. This has been a great program. Short as it was a great program. John Cena and Cody Rhodes happened at SummerSlam. Lesnar attacked John Cena at the end of SummerSlam. That following Friday, John Cena and Cody Rhodes teamed up against Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, seemingly setting the course of their direction going into Clash in Paris. Drew McIntyre wrote Cody Rhodes off of TV so he could go film his role as Guile in Street Fighter. Drew McIntyre has been building that program all by himself and with Randy Orton until Cody Rhodes gets back, which presumably I feel will happen at WrestlePalooza for the WWE title. John Cena remained on TV to wrestle Logan Paul and feud with Logan Paul. I think they've done a great job with this. Were you excited when Logan Paul and John Cena was the direction going into Clash in Paris? Probably not, because I felt the same way you guys did. But I also advocated for this very same match to take place at WrestleMania in Las Vegas this year in April. This was before John Cena even hinted at turning heel. Or did turn heel. I started those discussions outside of a couple of other people on social media, on my platform, right around Royal Rumble season. I said, I don't want John Cena winning the Royal Rumble or the Chamber. I think him and Logan Paul is the direction at WrestleMania. I would have went with CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble. But we didn't go in that direction. You know, all those people that scoffed at me and turned the other cheek towards me when I mentioned Logan Paul, John Cena, WrestleMania, you're not going to hear a peep from those people tonight. Do you want to know why? Because this match was fucking great. I actually thought this was a better match than the match he had with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. I thought this was a better match than the match we got at SummerSlam. Why? You might not agree with me. I'll tell you the reason why. The crowd. The energy, the crowd, the ambiance, the environment. Everything absolutely blew MetLife Stadium out of the fucking water. John Cena and Cody Rhodes went 35 minutes. I enjoyed this match more. These guys went 26 minutes. 26 minutes. This was great. John Cena has turned out two of the best matches in his entire last 10 years. In the last month. In this month alone, he wrestled Cody Rhodes and he wrestled Logan Paul. Two of the best matches that John Cena's had in the last decade. Since his match with AJ Styles, I would venture to say. How many of you guys are now sold on Logan Paul? If you weren't on board, are you sold now? You might have already been on board, like the rest of us smart fans, who realize that Logan Paul probably does this better than 98% of the AEW roster and half of the WWE roster. The guy is a star. The guy is tailor-made for WWE. He was born to be a professional wrestler. I would not doubt Logan Paul at some point, as long as he has remained with WWE, Logan Paul will be a WWE champion or a world heavyweight champion. Logan Paul will hold world championship gold in WWE. Mark my words. And when it happens, you'll get the typical people crying and bitching and moaning about why, how could they, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's going to happen. And I can't wait for that to happen. You want to know why? Because he wrestles like a world fucking champion. He wrestles like a world champion. Give the guy some fucking story, give him a great babyface to work with, and boom. Look at what was produced. Logan Paul worked with John Cena so well because Logan Paul is a great heel, chat. John Cena is one of the greatest of all time, one of the best on the microphone ever. This worked, and worked great. This was fucking easily the match of the night. Easily. Loved it. Cena got a ridiculous reaction. The fans sang along to his theme. The fans sang along as Alicia Taylor read the introduction. Thank you, Cena. There were no thank you, Cena. Cena sucks chants here. No. Just thank you, Cena. This match was every bit of a WrestleMania match here on a B-level Clash in Paris pay-per-view. PLE. Logan Paul used that titanium fist early. Got the advantage. Cena fought back. He did some really weak-looking corner punches on Logan Paul. Cena tried a monkey flip, but Logan Paul landed on his feet. Nobody was surprised. He booted Cena down. Logan Paul hits a middle rope blockbuster for 2, a delayed vertical suplex for 2, which looked great. I did not expect him delivering a delayed vertical suplex, but here we are. Fans are singing for Cena. He fights out of a Logan Paul rest hold. Logan Paul hits a gut wrench, slam down to the ground. Logan Paul then hits a running corner uppercut, European uppercut. And Michael Cole all of a sudden referenced Cesaro. Oh, that's very Cesaro-like. Has Michael Cole never seen a European uppercut before? Has nobody else done a European uppercut? I don't know why Cesaro, of all people, was mentioned. I don't know. Maybe he recently bought some of Cesaro's coffee. Claudio's coffee. Cena did his usual comeback spots. Crowd popped big for it. Logan Paul responded with his version of a buckshot lariat. Can we talk about Logan Paul's buckshot lariat, bro? The buckshot lariat in execution is not the best from Logan Paul. Like, I genuinely don't know. Is Logan Paul looking to fucking completely tear his ACL, MCL, meniscus on the flip into the ring? Is he going to be happy when he actually rips and tears his knee ligaments by flipping into the ring before doing the clothesline? Man, the way he flips into the ring, man, that is a disaster waiting to happen. There's got to be, I mean, for a guy that is as graceful and athletic as Logan Paul, that spot looks awful, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then when he does it, he flips, and then there's this momentary, like, fucking hesitation. There's this delay. Like, he flips, and then he waits a second, and then does the clothesline. Bro, can we, like, land a little bit more gracefully from the outside, inside, and then do it in one motion? Or just do a springboard fucking clothesline into the ring. It looks awful. It looks awful. Way too much force from the outside flip into the ring, man. You're going to fucking injure yourself, and it looks terrible. That momentary hesitation before he actually delivers the clothesline is just as bad. Stop. Let's tweak that. Let's do that a little bit differently, a little bit more gracefully, I would say, to a point where I'm not fucking cringing over the fact that you may tear a knee out just by doing the fucking move. Buckshot lariat for a 2. Cena got his knees up on a frog splash attempt. Hit an AA for a near fall. Counters back and forth. Cena applies the STF. Logan Paul got a rope break. Cena then breaks out a tornado DDT. And Logan Paul hits the overbomb for a 2. John Cena may have the ugliest looking tornado DDT of all time. He looks like a fish out of water, bro. He is as stiff as a fucking corpse in execution. The delivery is fine. In execution, man, it's almost as if John Cena is afraid to do half of the shit that he normally doesn't do, but ends up doing it anyway. I laughed. He ended it and hit it fine. But him doing it, man, it genuinely looks like a senior citizen trying to attempt something that a 20-year-old is doing. He did it, and I got to give him credit. Cena slowly made his comeback again. He, for some reason, did all the same Cena spots all over again, minus the 5-knuckle shuffle. He did the same comeback spots. He nailed, or Logan Paul, rather, nailed a Dolph Ziggler zigzag on John Cena for a 2. And Michael Cole called out Dolph Ziggler. Oh, it's Dolph Ziggler-esque. It's great. Cena followed with a move that looked like Baron Corbin's End of Days. Not as good as Baron Corbin's, but respectable. Logan Paul hit a senton bomb, standing moonsault. Cena hits a double under. This is another one. He hits a double underhook facebuster for 2. When have we ever seen John Cena do a double underhook facebuster? He's breaking out all those, it's like he's stealing fucking moves from the video game. Logan Paul followed up with a pop-up uppercut. Another Claudio uppercut spot for a 2. Logan Paul did Cena's comeback spots now. You know, the shoulder tackle, the suplex, the 5-knuckle shuffle. Cena caught him, though, for an AA for a near fall. So that's 2 AAs. He got him in 2 AAs. At this point in the Cody match at SummerSlam, we have already seen 5 AAs. Cena followed with a code red for a 2, which we've seen him do before in the past. Cena came off the ropes. Logan Paul punched him with his titanium-plated fist. He went for a cover. He got a 2 count. Logan Paul kicked up. Big frog splashes. Cena kicked out. Logan Paul then did the you can't see me gesture and hit a John Cena version of the 5-knuckle shuffle. Cena gets up and he nails a Styles Clash. John Cena trying to tell us something. I know there are a lot of people that want AJ Styles to be John Cena's last match. Fans at this point started singing AJ Styles' theme song. Logan Paul tried a flying crossbody. Cena rolled through. AA. That's the 3rd AA. Cena went for another AA. Logan Paul slipped out. Nailed the punch. Cena ducked a 2nd punch. Hit an AA. 4 AAs in totality in this match. And he put Logan Paul away after the 4th AA. John Cena wins. He beats Logan Paul. Great fucking match. No Lesnar. No outside interference. No bullshit. Straight up, one-on-one, John Cena wins clean. At the end of the match, Cena went to go embrace that young fan again that was in Belgium the night he cut his first heel promo, and he made fun of this kid. This kid was on Friday Night SmackDown, and once again, he was in the crowd again here in Paris for the PLE. Now I'm starting to wonder, A, is he a plant? B, who is he related to in the company, and who does he know? This kid has been seen on television now twice since Friday. We get it. You had a bad day. Makes it hard to believe if it's genuine if we keep doing it over and over again. Cena embraced his kid at ringside. He kissed his wife. And then he goes over and says, "What's up?" to Post Malone and Jelly Roll, who were sitting behind Michael Cole behind the commentary desk. John Cena's last appearance at a PLE in Paris was fucking great. Match of the night, by far. We had one of the French commentators announce the crowd in attendance. 30,343 in attendance at the La Défense Arena in Paris, France. WWE gloating that they have suckered 30,000 people plus to buy overpriced tickets to their PLE. Fantastic. The sickos also somewhere are crying into their pillows as WWE broke the single attendance record for any arena in all of Europe. So goodbye, O2 Arena. Thanks for coming. Your short-lived reign of 1 week is now over. Jackie Redmond is backstage. She asked Seth Rollins about being alone tonight. Rollins says he never needed anyone. Sure. Let's say that in front of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, mind you. He was a multiple-time world champion and the greatest in-ring performer of all time. He passionately said his catchphrases to the fans. They were already singing his song before he even got out there. Rollins says, "Don't worry. I always have something where I'm 2 steps ahead of everybody else." What did that mean? New member? Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Tony D'Angelo. That was rumored today. After that Instagram reel or story he put up on his Instagram profile. Michael Cole then reiterated that Paul Heyman was in the hospital and both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were ejected from the building, and if they were to return, they would be suspended without pay. Fatal 4-way. Jey Uso who got a monstrous reaction. LA Knight, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. The entrances and their themes were just as long as the match. This went on forever. You could have gotten up and I could have made all this chat vanilla lattes. And we'd still be with a little extra time left over for one for myself. That's how long this was. Bell rings. All four guys sized up each other. Punk kicked Jay out of the ring. That was payback for Raw. Rollins bailed from the ring, and he meticulously wants everybody to kind of rip at each other instead of going after him. So he sneaks outside. He's bent down on one knee. He's watching LA Knight and CM Punk go at it, ripping themselves apart so he doesn't have to do it himself. Knight got the better of CM Punk. Rollins slipped back in to take advantage when he saw the best opportunity to do so. Jay and Knight took turns punching Rollins, which was designed to get the fans to chant yeet and yeah. Yeet, yeah, yeet, yeah. Rollins found himself surrounded by all the babyfaces at one point. They all put boots to him. Punk and Knight couldn't get along because they both wanted to get their hands on the champion and the championship. Jay talked them into working together, so they all took turns hitting spots. Jay and Punk decided to yeet. Knight thought they should focus and get a table. CM Punk shoves Jay Uso the way Bubba Ray Dudley shoves Devon, and he yelled, "Jay, get the tables!" The people in France didn't play along, but I thought it was cute. So they go out and get a table, set it up on the outside. Jay did help Punk get a table before super kicking him. Jay also super kicked Knight before going after Rollins in the crowd. Rollins fought off Jay, but Punk wiped out Rollins and Knight with a dive off the barricade. They all wound up back in the ring. They traded spots until Rollins hit Punk with a pedigree. I don't know, man. Some of these spots I would omit. I really wouldn't do. It just doesn't look good. The pedigrees just never look good. I don't know why we do them. But he does them anyway. Rollins hit Knight with a buckle bomb for 2. Jay with a frog splash for 2. Rollins is in control. All of a sudden, LA Knight, it's his time to get his shit in. He hits all of his big moves on all three opponents. It's Punk's turn. He got his move in. Big Tower of Doom spot brought Knight down, and Jay with a power bomb for a 2 count. LA Knight knocked Punk off the apron through the table, just like Punk did tonight on Monday Night Raw, and gave him a shrug of the shoulder. LA Knight shoves Punk off the apron. He does not go through the table. The table only halfway breaks, but he hits the outside. LA Knight shrugs his shoulder. A little payback for what happened on Monday Night Raw. LA Knight shrugged as Punk did. BFT on Rollins. Jay broke up the cover. Barely. Crowd very much would have been pleased with an LA Knight BFT win and a world championship. Jay and Knight traded punches. You can guess how the crowd went on that one, man. Yeet, yeah. Yeet, yeah. Knight repeatedly bounced Jay's head off the announce table before doing the same to Rollins. At least this looked better than Becky. Knight placed Rollins on a table. He went up to the apron, or he went to the apron. Had to fight off Jay before heading up to the top rope for his elbow drop. A distraction allowed Rollins to move. LA Knight jumped off the top rope, through the table, crashed through the French announce table. LA Knight was donezo. Goodbye. He was out for the majority of the rest of the match. Jay went for a spear on Rollins. He countered into another pedigree for 2. This one looked just as bad, if not worse, than the CM Punk one. So pedigree to Jay. Jay fought back, hits an Uso splash. Punk broke up the cover with an elbow drop. Punk hit Jay with the GTS. Rollins stomped Punk for a near fall. Now it's Rollins and Punk, the 2 guys that want at each other the most. It was time to get to the finish here. Rollins is screaming at Punk about how much he hates CM Punk, how much he hates CM Punk's family. He wants him to go away, leave the company, never to come back again. Leave me alone. Rollins has some anger problems, bro. He doesn't want Punk in the company anymore, and he hates his fucking family. He said he hates his fucking family. Poor Larry, man. What did Larry do to deserve that type of treatment, bro? That cute boy Larry, huh? And yes, Larry is adorable, Jesse. Gonna get you a fucking Larry next time I see you. Rollins placed Punk's head between a chair. Punk avoided a curb stomp. Punk hits the GTS. Rollins fell back into the ropes and back onto Punk's shoulders. The same way his match ended with Rollins on January 6th and the debut episode of Netflix, if you guys remember. Punk set up for another GTS. All of a sudden, we see this shadowy figure emerge from behind, draped in black, wearing a hoodie and a mask. Is it Ricky Saints? Is it Ethan Page? Is it the Don, Tony D over here? You fucking scumbag, Tony D. No, none of these guys. It's Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch revealed herself as the hooded figure who gave CM Punk a low blow. Rollins stomped Punk's head into a chair. 1, 2, 3. Rollins retains. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins celebrated as the show went off the air. And Becky Lynch was teasing Post Malone and Jelly Roll in the front row as she was playing air guitar on Rollins' World Championship. And she said, look, I'm already a better musician than both of you guys. This was a fine fatal four-way. It wasn't as monstrous of a main event as WWE made it out to be. I'm particularly kind of tired of the multi-person affairs for the main event. I much rather prefer a one-on-one match. But this one was fine, and it did what it needed to do. Everybody got their moment to shine. I think everybody kind of realized Rollins was going to win this no matter what. Rollins was not dropping the title to any of these guys. And it's amazing that Rollins pinned CM Punk. CM Punk again has been pinned by Seth Rollins. Again. He cashed in on Punk rather than Rollins after he beat Gunther for the world title at SummerSlam Night 1. And now he pinned him again. At some point, CM Punk's got to get his revenge. I already know that AJ Lee is trending on social media. I already know it. I don't have to look. I already know it. I don't think if WWE has all the resources in the world, man, that if they wanted someone else in the group, someone else would be in the group. And we'd be talking about Ricky Starks. We'd be talking about Ethan Page. We'd be talking about fucking Tony D'Angelo or Austin Theory. One of the four. WWE had every opportunity to give us anybody else but Becky. But they ended up giving us Becky. I don't think WWE is going to give us Becky and then look at social media and say, well, it's not our fault. The fans, they want to get their hopes up. WWE knew exactly what they were doing when Becky Lynch was revealed as the hooded figure. They knew exactly what the reaction was going to be. Nobody is looking at this and not thinking AJ Lee. SummerSlam stole the title from Punk right underneath his nose. Faked an injury. He's been making CM Punk's life a living hell. In this match alone, he says, I hate you. I will do everything in my power not to get you a world championship. You're not going to hold a world championship as long as I'm alive and breathing. As long as I have breath in my lungs. He basically said to this man, I hate your fucking family. Then you give us Becky Lynch as the unofficial, I guess. We don't really know if she's official or unofficial yet. We don't know. We don't know if she's a part of the group yet. We know that they're married. We know that this is something fans have talked about before the vision was even fucking up and off the ground running on Raw. Is Becky Lynch going to be a Paul Heyman gal? WWE's not going to deliver a match that cannot happen. They know exactly what the reaction's going to be. I think that everything is in motion for what it exactly is going to be. There's nothing else for Rollins or Punk to do. What are you going to do at WrestlePalooza? Punk versus LA Knight? What are you going to do? Punk versus Uso? Cody Rhodes is going to be defending the WWE Championship at WrestlePalooza against Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins does not need to defend the World Heavyweight Championship on the same show as Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, giving him a tag team grudge match, mixed tag team match with Becky himself against AJ Lee and CM Punk. Just looking at it from a storyline perspective, it makes sense to give the championship a night off where you got everything else happening that's probably going to overshadow the World Championship. At that point, you're going to be taking the World Championship and you're going to be bringing it into the spotlight because everybody's going to be talking about AJ Lee. And then you got Rollins teaming with his fucking wife, which we haven't seen in how long? The last time we saw him teamed up was him and Becky versus Baron Corbin and fucking Lacey Evans. Remember that? Nobody wants to remember that. The best thing about that match was when Baron Corbin gave Becky Lynch the end of days. Still a great fucking moment. Bro, it just makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. Plus, Becky doesn't have anything to do. You can't really go right to Rollins and Punk for the World Championship. Let it play out a little bit. You see where this is going for War Games. This also does not mean that we're not getting another male member of the group. It could be two of those four that I mentioned. Could be Ethan Page, Ricky Starks. It could be Ethan Page, Tony D'Angelo. It could be Ricky Starks and Tony D'Angelo. I don't know. Austin Theory. We don't know. These are the names being thrown around. But the simple fact that WrestlePalooza was born from dust 2 weeks ago, given the ESPN treatment, given the old ECW theme from the 90s to poke fun at Tony Khan because he's an ECW mark, WrestlePalooza, where the best wrestle, and then take, to this day, still AEW's biggest star, put him in a co-main event, tag team him with his wife against Rollins and Becky Lynch, and you mean to tell me that WWE isn't going all guns blazing on AEW? Bro, AEW will have not one single fucking headline from that weekend. Game over. AEW's got no more lives left. It's all over. If this is the way, I could be speaking out of my fucking asshole. If this is the way, AEW would not grab one single headline. Edge and Cope, or Cope and Christian, whatever. Edge, Cope, what Edge. If Edge and Christian are teaming up, the tag team is already together, bro. The tag team match already happened. You gave it away against Kip Sabian. Who's gonna watch it? And it's not even for the tag team titles. Who gives a fuck? You gave their first tag team match in a decade away against Kip Sabian and fucking Barney. Then you want to wonder why WWE has got all this shit happening to AEW's killing themselves, bro. Fuck them. They shot themselves in the fucking foot. Then you wonder why WWE's got the ESPN, WrestlePalooza, September 20th, counter-programming, fucking Brock Lesnar, AJ Lee. What do you want them to do? WWE is already AEW's already lowered the casket into the ground. WWE's just helping them throw dirt on top. It's basically what they're doing. They're not going to steal one major headline, bro. The only way they steal a headline, I swear to God, man, the only way they steal a headline is if Darby Allin throws Jon Moxley or Jon Moxley throws Darby Allin off the fucking building of the Scotiabank Arena. That's it. That's it. There needs to be some vehicular homicide or some fucking near-death experience at fucking All Out for them to steal a headline. Like Darby Allin needs to be pronounced dead only to then come back to life in the same fucking breath. It's over. Not one headline will be grabbed on September 20th. If this is the way, I don't believe WWE is going to promote a match that they are not going to deliver on. Because they know for a fact, they knew before they even fucking sent her out there that everybody was going to mention AJ Lee. Plus, CM Punk grabbed a fucking sign from the crowd that said, CM Punk, please bring back AJ Lee. Of all the signs in the crowd that were in that fucking crowd, in that match, during that moment, and he grabbed it. Really? Clash in Paris was the best WWPLE this month. Clash in Paris was one of the best WWPLEs all year. And Clash in Paris was the best pay-per-view in the month of August. Better than Forbidden Door. Sorry, sickos. Maybe next year. Maybe the door will be swung open a little wider. Or maybe it closes shut for good, because that's exactly what needs to happen. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. Appreciate you all very much for joining me on this Sunday evening. We're going to get into the Super Chats. Thank you, guys. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. You guys are in the chat. 1,100 likes. You guys are great. Not today, Jay. Even Big E mentioned AJ. Fucking what's her name mentioned AJ Lee, too. The other female commentator that was there. Who was it? Bro, I mean, they're not hiding anything, bro. Thank you for the likes. Hit that thumbs up if you have not done so. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Clash in Paris. Let me know what you think of this AJ Lee rumor situation. Go check out all the other content on the channel. There's plenty of it. Tonight's show is sponsored by Blue Chew. Man, AEW is going to need some of that extra confidence come September 20th, man. I don't know. You think Tony Khan is subscribed to Blue Chew, bro? He may need some. Let me tell you something, man. You don't want to be an AEW All Out. You want to be a WrestlePalooza. It's basically the best way for me to describe Blue Chew, man, how it works. Blue Chew, a unique online service that provides the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. It comes in a chewable tablet, comes at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night. You can plan ahead, just like WWE planned ahead for WrestlePalooza. And be ready whenever that opportunity arises to squash the competition. Be ready whenever that opportunity arises. Blue Chew. Made right here in the USA, prepared and shipped to you discreetly. You're going to consult with one of their online medical providers, and once you are approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days. No questions asked. It's all done online. Best part, it's all done online. No waiting at the doctor's office. No awkward conversations. None of that. It's all done online. BlueChew.com, code JD. Make sure you guys sign up, use that promo code, and all you have to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. So if you guys want to benefit from that extra confidence, give Blue Chew a try. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. Let's get into these Super Chats, man. We're going to start off with the Boss Mo Jackson. It's coming in right at the top here. $1.99. This show is boring. Feeling checked out. Bro, you sent me this super chat at 3:30, man. The show was boring. At that point, we only got 2 matches, bro. 3 matches. Michelle with a 2. Roman Reed and the beatdown did not need 1 hour. No, they love giving you the experience, does WWE. I agree. Baltimore Jackson with a 199, 199, 199. Lots of 199s here. Like I said, Nikki Bella sucks. She can go away. I'm trying, but I'm mentally exhausted on wrestling. Rusev and Sheamus are Beast Warriors. I love them. International crowds are great. Also annoying. Michael Krause with the $2 Super Chat. JD OTS, how are we doing? Let's go. Yeah, thank you, Michael Krause. Cody Snyder with the 40 months. Jackie Redmond mentioned AJ Lee earlier. I'm all for AJ beating the shit out of Becky. Yes, Jackie Redmond mentioned. So did Big E. How long is Roxanne Perez asking for AJ Lee to return? Bro, I guarantee you, Punk is smiling from ear to ear, man. You don't think CM Punk also wants to dig the knife deep into AEW, bro? He's going to get just as much enjoyment out of this as Triple H and Nick Khan are, bro. Absolutely. His legends will only grow greater, man. See, AEW could have had it. AEW could have had it, bro, if they just worked with the man instead of driving him out of the fucking company. They fucked up. It's not my fault he's still their biggest star. Cody Snyder with $5 Super Chat. If AJ isn't returning, none of this makes sense. You are correct. None of it makes sense because they would have obviously went with somebody else to join the group. Boss Mo Jackson with the 199. This show was a 5 out of 10. I slept through half of it. 2 thumbs down. Brother, go get some sleep and come back to me tomorrow, man. You're not speaking any sense. 2 thumbs down? No. No. Toy ain't nice for the $2 Super Chat. My dream match, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. We may get something. We may get something. Captain Solo with a $5 Super Chat. I thought this pay-per-view was pretty solid. 8.5 out of 10 for me. Was thoroughly entertained. And the best part, no Sami Zayn. I take it back. 9 out of 10. Bro, I honestly, if they put Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa for the United States title on this show instead of Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella, it would have been an even better show. Sami would have won the United States title and would have been a good moment. Lucas with a $4.99. This was the first WWE show I had fun watching since Evolution 2. Well, you talking about PLEs? Because there's only been one. SummerSlam. Their weekly television shows are boring. I agree. Michelle with a 5. Becky, Seth, AJ Lee, and CM Punk coming, stacking the September 20th show, and Punk needs to get his heat back. He and Seth definitely will seem to fight forever. Bro, AJ Lee coming back to wrestle on the debut of WWE on ESPN, bro. I mean, the stars align, man, in the weirdest of ways. Captain Solo with a $2 Super Chat. Logan Paul is good at what he does. Dude is legit. He's fucking great. BC24 with $4.99. On a plane right now. I know you're going to spend good money to be at All Out live in person. LOL. Love you, bro. Oh, no, no, no. I will be here. I will be going live that night with WrestlePalooza and probably live on Sunday afternoon with Jesse for All Out. Filluminati with a 2. Solid PLE. He also says with a $5 Super Chat and a $5 Super Chat, is WWE setting up Montez to go solo with the Wyatt angle? Love to hear everyone's take. It certainly feels that way. I definitely want to see Rusev versus Gunther now. That match between Sheamus and Rusev was a banger. Gunther versus anybody, man. It's always a good time. Jay Everington with a 5. A pet peeve of mine, wrestlers covering their faces to do a run-in, then removing the mask. Why cover your face if you're going to take it off? Logic? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in this case it didn't work out the way that they wanted. I much rather would have seen her or preferred her to just show up. I get what you're saying, though. Justin Turner with a $5 super chat. Becky put out a tweet saying, "We run this business. Hashtag the vision." I would assume that makes her part of the group. I did not see that, being that I was live, but yes, I would say that makes her part of the group. The Boss Mo Jackson with a $1.99. I don't trust Ricky Saints on the main roster without Barry. You think they're going to bury Ricky Saints on the main roster, bro? Come on. Captain Solo with a $2 super chat. No more Bellas. Just put them in WWE 2K and be done with them. Yes, I agree. Joey Taylor with a $10 super chat. I will always take the Elite over Punk. I'd rather have the guys who helped Tony build the company over the guy who came in 21. Clash in Paris was a 5 out of 10. Bro, you're taking 2 non-stars over the biggest star the company's ever had? If I could refund you your 10, bro, I would. CM Punk is and forever will be until that place closes down. Be their biggest star. Best in the world, Matt, with a $5 super chat. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. That will be at SmackDown in Chicago this coming Friday. I have a feeling it's going to be one to remember. What happens on Friday? Is Lesnar going to be on that show? I think Lesnar's going to be on that. No, Lesnar's going to be on the 12th and the 19th. One more week till we get Lesnar. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. If it wasn't for Tony Khan's endless pockets of money, AEW would be dead or sold by now. How long can he continue a business that isn't profitable? I don't know, bro. All I know is the company's not making any money. They're making money, but they're not profitable. No way. And when this announcement of Max and their pay-per-views gets announced, it's going to be on Max, but at a discount. So basically, you'll still be paying $40 for their pay-per-views instead of $50, because that's the only revenue stream that they actually have. Why are they going to cut their only revenue stream to give us pay-per-views for free on Max if you're a subscriber? Right? Why would they do that? They'd have to completely restructure their existing contract to offset the amount that Tony usually gets from these shows, which is anything between 100,000 buys and 140,000 buys. They have to restructure that entire deal to pay them for what their pay-per-views are worth if they're going to do that and bundle it in with the existing Max price, like Peacock. They're not profitable. They're not a company predicated on making money. Quote CM Punk. Phil Illuminati with a 5. Logan is unbelievable. I just can't wrap my head around how scummy of a guy he is in real life. But that just may be a me issue. Brother, we don't have to know him, man. Whatever. He's got his money. He does what he wants. He lives his life. We're only here to talk about his in-ring prowess. Clone Force with the 16 months. Speaking of clones, do you see that AEW is running a storyline on Collision where Hologram has been cloned and there's an evil hologram? So not only do we have one hologram, we have 2 holograms. Somebody was clearly watching Jurassic Park over the weekend and ran with that storyline on Collision. Yet this is a company that wants to survive. Sure. 16 months, Clone Force. Roman is basically like Randy Orton when he turned babyface in 2010. He didn't change at all and was the same. And same thing with Roman, the way he is now. Bro, I swear to God, man, they have an evil hologram, bro. Hologram original was cloned. I swear to God, I swear on everything, bro. All I could tell you is this Wednesday's Collision Corner is going to be one for the ages, okay? Evil hologram now exists on Saturdays. Imagine you going to the ECW arena and being privy to this garbage. Evil hologram, bro. Hologram versus hologram, it all out, yeah. Yeah, it's, yeah, I'm totally giving up WrestlePalooza for that one. Hellfire with a 5. I've been thinking, JD, it's been 2 decades since we call someone the youngest WWE/World Champion. Who would surpass Brock and Randy's record? OTS for life. I don't think that person exists in the company right now. Cam G, thank you, brother, for the 100. Philuminati with a 5. Tired of security looking like a bunch of buffoons. Bro, that's all they know how to do. Captain Solo with a 5. You can't hold back Montez Ford because of Dawkins. Imagine if they never split up the Rockers. Montez Ford will print money as a single star. I agree. Just rip the Band-Aid off, bro, and just do it already. CM Punk fan 500 with a $5 super chat. I think John Cena's last match should be against AJ Styles. I'm not going to disagree with you. Styles, Gunther, or Drew McIntyre. One of the 3. True Crime Unleashed with a $4.99. Would BFAB go on to be Montez Ford manager if the Street Profits break up? I think she was placed back with them for a reason, in my opinion. No, I just have Bianca turn heel, and I would pair Montez and Bianca as a husband-wife heel combo. Bossmo Jackson with a $1.99. Do you offer incentives for XP leaders? I do not. Nobody really entertained the thought. Maybe I will in the future, but you guys are just there to have fun with it. Honestly, you guys are there to have fun with it. Make it your own. Butterscotch, 25 with the 22 months. If they break up the Street Profits and the same way Harlem Heat ended, Dawkins will slide right into the Stevie Ray spot. Don't do it. It's a good way to look at it. Hollywood guy with a 5. I read somewhere that Nakamura is in Paris doing meet and greets, and depending on how popular that is, he might be back on WWE TV. I give you the same shoulder shrug that LA Knight gave CM Punk tonight when he shoved him through the table. Tony Brown with a 5. I got to admit, Nikki Bella sucks in the ring, but one thing for sure, she can definitely get it. She's aged well. Thank you, Tony. Thank you for your eloquent comment, as always, brother. Manny with a $1.99. Fact, Larry is not adorable. I'm going to take your fact and shove it up your ass. Larry is indeed adorable. Okay? There's no Larry slander here. Scotty with a $4.99. Bella been playing too much 2K, bro. With the glitch kicks, I always knew Mr. 9 to 5 was an inspiration. You need to come to Scotland in your lifetime. Maybe I will, Scotty. I like me a good Scottish whiskey, you know? Alex Richmond with a $9.99. Much support to you, JD. Keep killing it. Says keep killing the game. Do you think Seth is the wrong guy to be the top heel? He literally was the savior of WrestleMania last year and one of the top faces. It's hard to boo him. Do I think he's the wrong guy? At this point, I'm going to say no. I don't think he's the wrong guy. I just don't know who else there would be. They need a heel. They need that villain. He plays it well. And I think he's got a great Batman in Punk. I do. And if they do what they are planning to do, and we're speculating, man, is that going to take it to the next fucking level? Zoid with a 5. Thanks, JD, for making my week so entertaining. My question is, are WWE forcing Punk into a vanilla babyface? Do we need a darker version of Punk? Yeah, Punk has kind of been on the back burner for the last few weeks. He's been a little tame. Hopefully, now that his wife is going to be joining him, maybe. We don't know for sure. It does bring out another side of him. Now he's been screwed twice. By Rollins, and now Rollins and Becky. So, there's got to be some anger there that's shown. Tay-Tay with a $4.99. My top 3 WWE pay-per-views so far this year: Elimination Chamber, Evolution, Clash in Paris. What are yours, JD? Elimination Chamber, Evolution, and Clash in Paris. Legitimately in that order. VR with a 10. A lot of people are cheering on the demise of AEW. When and if that happens, be prepared for the most vanilla, safe, and pedestrian booking by Triple H. Bro, I don't think anybody's cheering for the demise of AEW. We're just very vocal about the way Tony Khan is running his company because it's fucking failing. We want it to be better. We want him to recognize the fault. We want him to recognize the mistakes. He is nowhere close to even doing that. That's why we are so hard on them. Things don't make sense. A lot of the things they do don't make sense. If you think I'm going to sit here idly and not call them out after I did it for years with WWE, you are living on another fucking planet, bro. Not you specifically, but everybody else. Lavelle with a 10. Should WWE continue to build anticipation for AJ Lee's return and save it for WrestlePalooza, or have her return on Raw before the PLE? And if she does return, will it be a one-off or one final run? I don't know. I would have her on. I would have her show up on TV. They need something for that weekly show. I would have her show up on TV. You just get her on TV. Packing Heat with a $2 super chat. Triple H and Punk want to bury AEW with AJ. They do, and good for them. Good for them. Hollywood guy with a $2 super chat. Does Punk form a faction with AJ Lee? Your thoughts? No. Russell Mess with its $4.99. AJ Punk versus Seth Becks, Cody versus Drew, Lesnar versus Cena, crowning a new women's world champion. WrestlePalooza could be huge. Fun show today. Yes. Very fun show. Andre Benson with a 5. Was having second thoughts about buying a $145 ticket to WrestlePalooza. After tonight, all the clues. Punk holding the sign. My tone is changing about it. I think you should go, bro. Me personally, I think you should go. JP Gordo with a 5. If Clash in Paris was great, Styles versus Dominic for the IC title will be an awesome match tomorrow night. Hopefully Styles wins the IC strap. I think he should. I think Dominic's winning the AAA Mega Championship on September 12th. JP Gordo with a 2. JD, shots to you, bro. Favorite System of a Down album? Toxicity. And Pizza Night of Chill Zone. Thank you, brother. $5 super chat. The lady in the cubicle across from me at work is the biggest Becky Lynch fan. Can't wait to get her reaction on Tuesday. Happy Labor Day, everyone. Well, happy Labor Day to you, brother. And I am very curious to see how that conversation goes. Let us know. Guys, thank you very much for a great stream, man. We had upwards towards 3,000 people in here on a Labor Day weekend, Sunday night. I want you guys to enjoy your Labor Day tomorrow. The summer's not really over, but officially, it doesn't end until the middle of September. Unofficially, it ends tomorrow. The weather's getting cooler. It's getting crisper. Windows are open in the nighttime instead of using the air conditioner as of late, which I don't mind at all. Pumpkin spice lattes are back early. Pumpkin spice beer is going to be flowing. In moderation, of course. So make it a good one tomorrow, guys. I appreciate you very much. We got a great week of content coming up next week. I'll be live tomorrow night with Monday Night Raw. We'll see what happens. Tuesday night. Obviously, we'll be back with Tuesday Night Titans with the one and only Solid Monster, who I believe is still live right now. So maybe we should all go into the chat over there and raid the Solid Monster stream, huh? Tell him JD sent you. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn the bell for notifications. Go check out all the content on the channel. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this AJ Lee rumor. Do you think it's happening? It's now or never. Let me know. And go check out Blue Chew, man. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. Get your free sample courtesy of me and the podcast. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow night live. Right back here for Monday Night's Raw. Right here on Off the Script. We'll see you guys later.